This presentation is about modeling information of the digital reality. We increasingly try to capture the real world into a digital version. On the left, you see the real world we live in, and on the right, the digital world that keeps us informed. Information standards play a role in which information is captured from the real world and then is recorded into registers. In the real world, many things happen. We live in it, we construct buildings, there's transportation, we go to offices, things are being bought, sold, replaced, etc. Life is being lived as it is in a society. Information is necessary to control and execute these processes. The government, therefore, makes use of registers to regulate society through policy and legislation. Each type of register collects data from reality. This creates a range of registers, each with their own view on society. For example, a population register, buildings, cadastral plots, or a vehicle register. These registers are digital and contain data related to a specific topic. In collecting the data, only information will be recorded that fits the purpose of the register. A register is not a copy of reality. It also does not contain all the data from reality. A choice is being made which properties of objects or things from the real world are of interest. Only these are included in the register. An information model describes what kind of information is included in a register. In 3 steps, the content and structure of information is defined. First, the terms and definitions are described, the semantics. If one wants to know what is meant by the term building, then a definition must be included. Related questions like if a barn, a gas station, or a football stadium is also covered by the term building can only then be answered. The information model contains all the semantics used. Furthermore, it is necessary to describe the properties of a building that are of importance in the register. Its purpose and use determines whether the construction date of a building is of interest, or the number of floors, the living area, the energy label, etc. The information model records which properties are of interest and relates it to its objects, in this case, the building. The building object is also related to other objects. It is part of a building complex, or it has an owner or tenants, a mortgage, or a surrounding area. These relationships or associations between objects are described in the information model. The relationships realize linkages between registers. For example, a person in a population register is linked to a building register. The information model defines what is connected to what. So we see that the reality of the real world is represented by an information model in the digital world. The model is therefore a digital model of reality. Here you see various examples of domains in the Dutch context for which information models are available. Large-scale geography, spatial planning, cables and pipelines, nature, soil and geology, the Environmental Planning Act, and there are many more. Registers are being consulted and exchange information. This messaging between registries and to users is done digitally over the internet. Messaging facilitates the link between registries themselves and towards users. Technical and logistical agreements on messaging are described in the messaging protocol. Messaging is about transporting data from A to B. The messaging rules describe the protocol, the technicalities and the logistics of the data transfer. Topics such as who's the applicant, who's the recipient, are you authorized for this information, and is a digital signature needed are examples of information that may be included. All these information elements are needed in order to send the data from A to B. The data itself are not part of the message protocol. The message protocol describes all the steps needed to send data from the source to the user. Starting first with an application, next step is the authorization, then your identification, and finally the approval. Everything is processed digitally according to predefined rules. If you have a request for information or you want to view results on a map, results should be presented in an accessible and readable manner. The presentation model is the third model that is needed in order to transfer information to the user. The digital registers record information in databases. They are not yet information products to be used by humans. Applications ensure that online information products are made available. Depending on the application, information is derived and presented to the user. Presentation can be in many ways, through sound, images and maps, but in fact through all manners that people can perceive. Geographical information is visualized on a map. The presentation model in that case is a cartographical model, describing the colors and symbols used to represent objects and information on a map. Because it is displayed through an application, it also includes the interaction, such as zooming, mouse click or mouse over, swipe, etc. To strengthen the comparability of data of the same kind from different sources on different applications, it is important to agree on a presentation model. 3 models. 3 information standards for interoperability in a digital infrastructure. The information model for describing the content and semantics, the message protocol to facilitate data transfer interoperability, and the presentation model to present data in a usable and readable way. To summarize, the reality is the source of the information. Registers use information models to indicate what data they collect and make available to users. The messaging protocol ensures that data can be shared between applications. And applications use the presentation model to display data or a map to the user. Information model, messaging protocol, and presentation model. 3 models to realize the translation of reality to digital information.